Where's that treasure map?
What's up, everybody? It's the Pirate Stacker coming at you. Wow, little squeak there. It's Thursday. Today, I'm going to share with you my complete cap bust set. This is the first time I've had it slabbed, a complete graded set. Now, I do want to preface this. I do have some other cap bust graded slabs. I'll show you that a little later. And I do have some great pieces that are away at grading right now that are of the cap bust variety. So we are really excited to share this and some of the cool things I've learned about it. And it really is a unique set. This type set, this was really one of our earliest real sets. There's other pieces. There's the drape bust and this and that. But this actually gave us a $50, a quarter, a dime, and a half dime, which we hadn't had up to that point. It had been pennies, half pennies, other things. So this is really cool. Now, one of the biggest misconceptions, people think there's a dollar coin. There actually is not a capped $1. The 50 cent was the largest denomination. So if you are going after this set, that kind of makes it a little easier on you. Without any further ado, let me give you the gist of this. Now, this is interesting because all of these come in at different dates. They didn't all get released at the same time, and that's kind of unique. But let me give you the facts of what they all are. They are all 89.2% silver with 10.8% copper. Yes, our constitutional 90% silver, that didn't kick in until the seated Liberties, which was the next type set. But this was really close. So all of those are 89.2% silver. Also, with the exception of the last year, 1839, and some proofs in 1838 that were minted at the New Orleans Mint, all of these were minted at the Philadelphia Mint. So there is no mint marks. They were just minted at the Mint, which was Philadelphia at the time. Let's start with the top of the line. This right here, this is your $50. This is an 1833. Extra fine, 45. Very cool. This is a nice coin. Now, this was made from 1807 to 1839. And this $50, the $50 is probably the most popular of the series because it's a bigger coin. It just feels cooler to have a little bit of weight in the pocket. Now, this particular coin, if we're talking about rarity, some of the key dates, 1807, 750,500 minted. 1815, 47,150 minted. That's a really low year. 1820, 751,122. 1836, only 1,200. And in 1839, only ones from the New Orleans Mint were minted, and they were 178,976. So those are some of the key dates on this. It's a very cool coin. I've seen some beautiful examples of this coin, and I have an amazing story I'm going to tell you at the end of this. So stick around because the story is pretty incredible. Next up, we've got the quarter. Now, the quarter, I have a nicer one off to grade. Whether it grades straight or not, I couldn't tell you, but it is nicer than this piece. This is an 1834 VF25, and I think it's a fantastic example of the coin. And I'm always impressed. You know, this is 190 years old. This is only a VF25. It really impresses me how nice the coin looks, even at that lower grade. So you don't have to have a mint state coin for it to be a smoke show, which they definitely are that. If you ever see any of those mint states, beautiful, beautiful coins. So that's the quarter. Next up, we've got the dime, 10 cents. Now, this is actually my roughest one. There are several variations, small date, large date, different die things, all of that. This is an 1821, good 6. This is a rough coin. It's a straight grade. Keep in mind, 201 years old. That's an old coin. So this is very cool, you know, and I am happy to have it in my collection. I'm not just looking for the best examples. I want to have different price points because I do intend to sell at some point. But I am definitely going to be trading up to make a better set every time I can for my own personal collection. So very cool. 1821, that's the one dime. And then we've got this guy here, the 1832 half dime. And that's an extra fine 40. And it's a real bitty little guy. Now, something I was talking to a friend of mine about was the fact that it made sense that we have these itty bitty half dimes as a 5-cent coin, right? I mean, it would make sense. All of our coins go smaller as the value. But nowadays, the nickel is larger than our dime. It's heavier than our dime. The penny is heavier and larger than our dime. But back then, it just made sense that the half dime or 5 cent would be smaller than the dime. And I think that really does make sense. And with that, that is my set of cap busts. That's all 4. I've got some coming back from PCGS grading. Hopefully they grade straight and give me some upgrades. But let me show you a few others and let me tell you a little story. All right, talk about holy half dollars. I actually have another one en route, but it's not a fancy one, and I just wanted to get this video going. That, of course, is the one we checked out. That's the extra fine 45. I have an extra fine 40 from NGC here. And this one's an 1831, which I love that these are different dates. So that is very cool to me. And it's a good-looking coin in and of itself. And to be honest, I know this goes against the grain. I like the look of the old coins in these NGC holders. Something else you should know as well, these have letter writing on the edges. Some are reeded and some are not. And that's another cool detail. I also have this extra fine 40, small O variety. And I actually think this one looks better. This is an 1830. I think it looks better than my 45, to be honest. And I do really, really like this piece a lot. In fact, it may be my favorite half, to be honest, which is cool. So the story is, and then this little guy, good value pickup, nice example. It's an 1830 also. And this one's an F12, but it's a Overton variety. I think that's what the O variety is. There's numerous varieties of these. And anyway, it's a very nice piece, well struck. So the story is I was watching a PCGS video on YouTube from 10 years ago. And there's this guy, this avid collector, high-end collector of cap busts, and he was sharing his collection of PCGS graded cap busts. And he had top end. He wanted the best of everything. Again, mind you, this is 10 years ago. And he talks about how undervalued the series is, and I believe it still is undervalued, believe me. And he says how he bought a raw coin. It was a 50-cent cap bust. I believe it was an 1811. And at the time, the best one that was graded was an MS-65, and there was one of them. And the guy that sold it to him sold it raw for $13,000, said it's a better coin than the one that's in existence or known. And he bought it and he sent it in to PCGS. And PCGS sent it back as an MS-64. Dude was upset. He wanted a better coin. It was a beautiful coin, but it wasn't better, and he wanted the best. He sold it for a loss, $6,000 as it was, MS-64. Took a hit. Several years later, there was an MS-66 coin graded, and it came onto his radar. A buyer knew about it. He saw the coin, MS-66, PCGS, huge jump in value from a 64 to a 65, and then a 65 to a 66. And especially at the time, because there's only one in existence. Dude's got to have it. Coin's beautiful. It's amazing. Well, this dealer hears wind of the deal, and he told the guy that his coin he'd sold him raw was an MS-66 coin. Well, he gets the coin. This dealer meets up with him, says, hey, I've got some markers. Let me check your coin because I think it's my coin I sold you. He brings the coin. He checks it out. Sure enough, that MS-66 in the slab was the exact same coin he bought raw years earlier for $13,000. He had paid $29,000 for it in an MS-66 slab. 29 grand. Same exact coin. He had it for 13, sold it for 6. Somebody regraded. In fact, it probably got regraded multiple times till it got in front of the right eyes, and it became the one and only MS-66 of the time. The moral of this story, you have to know what you're looking at. You have to realize that the idea of a mint state coin, each attribute, each level it goes up, there's very minimal differences between coins. And it really can depend on who that coin's in front of. I'm going to be putting that to the test here in the future, as I am certain I will submit and resubmit some coins because I want to see. I want to see. Do I feel like that's cheating? Do I feel jilted? I don't know, but I'm going to see what that system's all about because I see other people doing it. Were you cheated by it getting knocked out for some reason or excluded for some reason when it shouldn't have? Or should they have never graded it straight the second or third time? I don't know. These are all questions I'm curious about. But that is a crazy story from PCGS. And anyway, I thought I'd share it with you guys. That's my cap bust. Very cool typeset. Awesome coin. A little piece of history that we'll never get back. But you can still own it. And the stories that come with them. Thank you all for watching. That's it for today. Pirate out. Arg.